Hello all. So recently we organized a BDO conference, a first of its kind, on the lines of DC conference to discuss various ideas and how to take the block development forward. Important schemes like PMAY and MGNREGS. So our BDOs also gave a lot of presentation, and it was really very good. And we hope that we can do it every year. So I thought, for the benefit of other blogs and other officials, I will share my presentation here. And so basically, this was about the tremendous possibility to facilitate sustainable development. I feel that as a BDO, really, you are there right at the grassroots and at the cutting edge of administration, and that is why it's a great opportunity. And for whatever couple of years you're there, I think if you can really plan well and get everyone going, get the team going, then I think miracles can be achieved at the block level. So first of all, I talked about development and how we must understand development first. Growth is something we talk about as something more economic in its dimension, and development is more of a, you can say, multidimensional, which includes growth and also on social indicators. So it's a much broader term, and there is a reason why it's called the block, as they are truly the building blocks. All the developmental schemes, major schemes, are implemented through the block, and that is the last level of the interface, you can say, between administration and the public. And that is why the cutting edge of administration, basically, and most of the public dealing happens at that level. So that is why it is one of the best opportunities. We come in public service to work for the people, to be among the people, with the people, for the people. And at the block level, I think it gives the great opportunity to do that. So I feel it's the cutting edge of administration, and it's a great opportunity to work with the people. Now, it's of course, we all know that all the important schemes, MGNREGS, PMAY, and SAP, and there are GSA, so many are there. And rural areas is where we need officers, because when we say urban area, so most of the it is on an average, you can see most of the amenities are there, taken care of. Of course, there is a different sort of problems in urban areas where population is more, and the density is more, and the other kind of issues, supply constraints are there. But then I feel that rural development is more challenging, and in fact, we need more officers at the in the rural areas at the grassroots level to resolve all these issues, to ensure public service delivery in all these rural and remote areas. So that is why the being posted as BDO gives a great opportunity, I feel, to make a lot of change. Now, PMAY as a scheme, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, is one of the most important schemes to ensure housing for all. And if implemented well, we can finish all the allotted houses in time, and we can avoid houses getting abandoned and so many things. So that is why, with a vision to achieve housing for all, it's very important. And it will if we are to achieve that, then a lot of expenditure on relief, the damages which happen in cyclone and hailstorms, for the kacha houses, the lives which are lost, all that can be done away with by ensuring pakka houses through this wonderful scheme. So a couple of pointers that before the rollout of the scheme, if at the block level, if the gram sevak level, at the AEC level, at the VEC level, if we can have awareness programs, that how we are to take this forward, what is the procedure, what is the SOP, then I'm sure that there's no confusion and the focus is there And we have seen that wherever we could give awareness before the release of fund and tell them the procedure, the coverage and the percentage completion and the time taken, on all indicators we have performed better. So this awareness session at the beginning is very, very important. Material, so in a state like Meghalaya, which with a difficult terrain and difficult to transport the material and the availability of material itself, so it's very costly if every individual buys from a urban place. So to achieve the economy of scale, bulk purchase, if done at the block level or at the GS level or the cluster level, it will save a lot of money for a lot of beneficiaries. And for faster construction, if ready-made windows and doors are used, so that will ensure that we can achieve that time-bound completion of these PMAY houses. So that is also very, very important when it comes to the perspective of Meghalaya area. There's a lot of hailstorms here, so it is advisable that CGI sheet of higher thickness are used, because if we use the lower thickness, then within 1 year it is damaged, and again the cost of repair is too high. One thing which we must ensure at the block level is the regular flow of installments, because if the regular flow is somehow not ensured, then some of the beneficiaries they kind of lose interest, because the installments are not coming, they don't have their own savings. So it starts to get a little damaged, and the plants are growing inside, and slowly the construction site is abandoned. So that, to avoid that, this regular flow is very, very important. And in Meghalaya we have trained rural masons. Rural mason training was organized, and masons from every village were trained to construct this house. So that is something which was a very good initiative, and that has ensured that masons are there everywhere. So I'm happy that in this construction of houses and elsewhere also now these masons are working. Now, one of the most important aspects is the regular monitoring. If we at the district level and also the block level, BDOs and APOs and Gram Sevaks, TAs, BFTs, using all the machinery, if we regularly go to the field to inspect these houses, then the beneficiary, there is a pressure on them also, and they are aware that it is being watched, and any kind of delay, and so there will be a pressure on them, and the community also realizes that so much of importance is being put by the administration. So they also kind of work together with the administration, and the beneficiaries are constantly encouraged and motivated to complete their houses on time. So that is why this regular monitoring is a key. One thing what we had done here also, and when I was in East Garo Hills, we printed a booklet, awareness booklet on PMAY, and we have printed it and given to all the staff of our blocks, so that whenever they go to a field visit, they can take this to inspire the beneficiary, because it mentions all the ways in which you can quickly and efficiently make the house, and it has the pictures of some wonderful houses constructed under PMAY. So this has also been very effective. Giving back to the community is important. So this is one example where in Songsak block, one widow was there. In fact, she was not having a family, and she could not, you can see the before picture, this is what she could do, and she could not paint or put doors, as she had no sources of funds. So we adopted her house, Ambi's house, and we completed it, we colored it, we did rainwater harvesting, we did solar power, etc., etc. So this is something, and the whole community and the whole village also came together. So this kind of approach also can be taken up to finish some kind of unfinished house. This is also in Samanda block, and the widow had the children and had no sources to finish the house. Roof was completely left. So we adopted, and Honorable MLA of William Nagar also adopted this, and we managed to make it into a very good house. So by crowdfunding, a lot of people donated into this. And here you can see that we all went on the occasion of Holi, and on as a social work, we painted the house of a person with disability, a PMAY house. And it was wonderful, and it was awareness on PMAY, and at the same time community coming together. So all these experiments plus the basics which I have said on PMAY will take it to another level, and we can achieve and complete all these things in a very timely manner. So another very important scheme at the block level, of course, is MGNREGS. And whenever you go to any village, rural area, here you will see all kind of assets which are there, and you will see a CC culvert which is made by MGNREGS. You will see a CC footpath which is made by MGNREGS. You will see a plantation done by MGNREGS. You may see check dams and rainwater harvesting structures done by MGNREGS. So it's full of assets from MGNREGS. And so MGNREGS is the heart of rural development. Any rural area you go, you'll see a lot of assets created by MGNREGS. So here I want to request especially all the BDOs who are watching this, we must create this durable community assets. It should be durable. The focus is on durable, because what I have seen is many times these assets are temporary assets are created, and within 1 year, 2 year it's gone. So the whole effort and the whole community mobilization goes in vain. So basically a good planning and a good plan and estimate by the block engineer is very, very important to create durable community assets. This is very, very important. And the shelf of work which is created, it must be basically in consultation with the people, because it's a demand based scheme. So it should come from the basically village itself, what they require. Accordingly they should create assets. Now some iconic projects and convergence projects also need to be created. It is very, very important to basically highlight the power of NREGA and the power of convergence. So going forward, I will give you many examples where convergence has been used, and huge projects which could not be imagined that it couldn't be achieved with NREGA have been achieved using convergence. So these kind of iconic projects give a lot of belief in the whole scheme, and then they basically give a lot of vision to the other VCs also, who see that, and then they also create their big and iconic projects. So it's very, very important. Now especially in Meghalaya, where the VCs are implementing the MGNREGS, it's very, very important that we do capacity building for them, because they are the office bearers. They must understand basic bookkeeping, basic accounts, basic developmental aspects, what kind of works, what is NRM, all those things. So office bearers capacity building is very, very important. And then longevity of projects, as I said, durable assets have to be created. So that's also very, very important. So now just look at this. This is of course from Meghalaya, and the site location is just fabulous, and it's a rainwater harvesting structure, simple structure, but the location and the whole feel of it, the whole vibe of it is very touristic. And I'm sure this is also a popular tourist destination. So it's similar in East Garo and West Garo also we have done a lot of similar things, but just to showcase that these kind of projects has a lot of touristic value, also tourism potential also. So it should be planned in a way that it's accessible to the people, and it also maybe later on converted into a proper tourist spot. So it's fun. This is also a similar example. Now these two structures, let's go back to the rainwater harvesting structure. So it is serving a purpose. It is basically the groundwater recharge. It will ensure that as water is stored here, and at the same time here also this groundwater recharge is happening. But at the same time, look at the pretty site. I mean, it has it has a potential to become a tourist site. Rafting can be there, a fish sanctuary can be there, picnic area can be on the side, so great potential. So this can be a convergence between the block and the tourism and water and soil conservation, soil and water conservation, and etc etc, matlab, all the departments which are there. And water resources department, irrigation department can also come into the fore. So another so this is one of my favorite projects, in fact, and I was lucky to be there when this was happening in East Garo Hills. And all credit to the Samanda block team for this wonderful project. So Simsang is a big river, and there was no connectivity over it. So in the rainy seasons, it was always difficult and very, very difficult for people to cross even. So using Narega, many bridges have been now made, and hanging bridges also. So this is the biggest one. So let me just show you the video. So this is the approach road, and then this is over Samsang, and then the other tributary also, the bridge has been made. So just look at this. This is a submersible bridge, and entire project was made under MGNREGS, of course, in convergence with PWD, with IBDLP, and SRWP and various schemes. So such is the potential of Narega, where such very, very crucial assets can be created in convergence with the other schemes. So now let's see another one. So this is in Chimadachit. Okay, so let me just correct the name. It's Chimadachit, sorry, in Samanda block. And this is a hanging bridge. So this is beyond that is a very inaccessible village, and during rainy season it was impossible to cross this mighty Simsang. So now with this bridge they can at least of course by walking they can cross with ease. So similar structure was made in Chisobebra also, where the similar problem over Simsang was there. So all these are convergence projects made under MGNREGS, and along with the various other departments. Somewhere it's PWD, somewhere it's IBDLP, somewhere it's SRWP, and other schemes are there. So just to show these all examples I have taken mostly from East Garo Hills, as I was there for 3.5 years, and these iconic projects could be taken up, and these are the durable assets which I was talking about, which make a great deal of difference. So moving on to few more examples to show the potential. Now this was a convergence with DMF, where we made an Anganwadi, and perhaps is one of the biggest Anganwadis made in East Garo Hills with all the facilities. Now this is a very interesting project. This lake, Tasek Lake, was getting literally drier and smaller. So the villagers, all credit to the block team and the villagers who decided to take up this project and desilt the dam and make an embankment, and thus to revive the whole lake. So this was a wonderful NRM project under MGNREGS. It's a huge lake, and all credit to the block team and the people. So this was another example that many times even simply the VECs coming together and working may not be enough. So this was one of the projects where some additional fund was required to complete the bridge, and then thanks to IBDLP we could finally complete it with the SRWP and IBDLP. So these are the examples where these convergence project, iconic projects under MGNREGS can really make a difference. Now another very interesting thing which we used to have is that using social work. So we see that we made a lot of check dams in East Garo Hills during that time, and but what happens is in a 1 year or 2 year that gets silted. So one day we decided that let's just call everyone, all the people of that village, and we'll say let's do work together, social work. Let's de-silt the check dam. So within 3-4 hours, of course, hundreds of people will be were there, and we desilted the whole dam. So this kind of social work can be used for various activities. It can be desilting, it can be plantation, it can be renovating some school or something like that. So this also strengthens the whole community thing, and we can use this to renovate or maintain the assets created by MGNREGS. So how can we further improve? So basically at the block level, it is very, very important to set the right environment, and by providing excellent office space for the staff and the right atmosphere for people to work. It should be inclusive in a way that you have to involve everyone, right from your staff, from your the villages which are under you, the village headmen, the leaders, the SHG groups. All basically stakeholders have to be made on board before taking any calls, and it should be inclusive decision making. um, Initiating works based on, yes, proper planning is very, very important, as I discussed before, that it has to be as per the need of the people, and it has to be with proper estimation, and the latest technology should be used so that it's a durable asset which is created. Another very important thing at the block level is that many complaints originate, and some village level or block level, if they are dealt with, because mostly it's because of some miscommunication or misunderstanding of lack of information, or unawareness, basically lack of awareness about something. So these things, if it can be handled at the source, so it will save a lot of resources, because otherwise, it goes to the district, it goes to a state level, then it comes back, then there is inquiries, then a lot of resources are involved into it. So basically, if it can be resolved with the first place, then it will save a lot of resources. And as you have seen, Convergence does magic. So a lot of things, Convergence should be used in a lot of the projects in the block level. Few more points apart from the PMAY and MGNREGS, there is RGSA, NSAP, SRWP, MPLAGs. These all schemes have wonderful potential, and at the block level, it is very, very important to monitor them very in detail, and so that the good implementation can be ensured. Block also, there are like at district level there are hundreds of committees. At the block also there are a lot of committees like Rogi Kalyan Samiti, banking coordination committee, etc., etc., and BDO chairs all these meetings. So it is very, very crucial at the block level that these meetings are held, and BDOs take control of this kind of committees, and through this coordinate with all the line departments for successful implementation of several projects. Now another important scheme, NRLM, which is everywhere, and SHG saturation is for example, we have 83% saturation, and there is a lot of power in these institutions, and they need to be further empowered. So BDOs because they are most closer to these SHGs where they are working, so they have this wonderful opportunity to work with them and to empower them. Now I have already talked about improving and optimizing human capital, and also empowering the VECs, because they are the main functionaries at the village level. And of course, field visits and implementation is something which is most important. So, and to conclude this presentation on the role of BDO and the wonderful opportunity it presents for the BDOs to make a change at the ground. This is I find this very relevant, because mostly I was talking about public service. So the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. I think I need not explain this. You need to experience this. I need not convince you just by giving arguments. I think if you try, you will definitely see this is very, very true. And there is nothing better than helping people. And if you can do that at the rural and remote areas, there's nothing like it. So that is why this opportunity of a BDO is a wonderful opportunity to facilitate rural development. And wonderful schemes like PMAY, MGNREGS have great potential, and there are so many other schemes. So if done right, I think major transformation can happen within a short span of time. So I hope this was useful for all the BDOs and for the all future BDOs as well. And I'll continue to make similar videos about development, and especially about rural development. Thank you so much.